Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. We'll start today's session. Um,
Good evening.
Good evening to one and all present here. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the inaugural session of the add-on course in Criminology and Forensic Science, second edition, conducted by the Legal Justice and Research Foundation. Today marks the beginning of an exciting journey into the study of crime, criminal behavior, and justice system. We are truly honored to have with us the distinguished guests of today's program whose presence adds immense value to this occasion. Firstly, I invite our chief guest of the program, Advocate T.A. Shaji Sir, Director General of Prosecution. Senior Advocate T.A. Shaji Sir has graduated from the Ernakulam Government Law College and had been practicing as a lawyer at the Kerala High Court since 1986. He was designated as the Senior Advocate by the High Court in 2012. He has served as the Standing Counsel of the Kerala Bank and Regional Cancer Center. I welcome you, sir, to this inaugural session.
Thank you.
Next, we have with us Dr. Saroja A.S. Ma'am, retired professor who also served as the Dean and exam chairman in all the universities in Kerala. She is the daughter of the late Advocate K. Andashivam Sir, senior civil lawyer of the Kollam Bar Association. She started her practice with him after she graduated from the Government Law College, Thiruvananthapuram. She did her LLM from CUSAT. Her career as a teacher started in 1989 in Government Law College, Calicut. After her retirement, she taught maritime law in Kerala University of Fisheries and Ocean Studies, Kochi. Dr. Saroja Ma'am is our academic advisor of LJRF State Chapter. On behalf of the organizing team, I welcome you, ma'am, to this inaugural session. Next, we have with us our resource person, Dr. Shweta Thomas, Assistant Professor, Department of Forensic Science, Kristu Jayanti, deemed to be University, Bangalore. She is the former Vice President of the Indian Criminology and Forensic Science Association. She did her PhD in Development Studies Criminology from School of Studies of the School of Gambian Thought and Development Studies, MG University, and her master's degree in criminology from Indian Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science, New Delhi. She also holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and has also done an internship, has been an intern at the Kerala Police Academy. Dr. Shweta, ma'am, is keenly interested in research related to criminology and psychology, and her areas of interest include police training and attitude, crime and gender, criminal psychology, and psychology of juveniles. On behalf of the organizing team, I welcome you, ma'am, to today's session. Nextly, I invite Safi Sir, Assistant Professor, Government Law College, Thiruvananthapuram, to today's session. Once again, on behalf of the organizing team and participants, I extend my heartfelt welcome to each one of you. I also welcome all the participants who has joined with us today. Over the coming weeks, we will be exploring the many dimensions of criminology and forensic sciences. Let us use this platform not just to gain knowledge, but also to exchange ideas and broaden our understanding of crime and justice. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you. Let us begin this journey today with curiosity, dedication, and an open mind. Thank you. Nextly, I invite Saroja ma'am for the presidential address.
Thank you, Vandita. A very good evening to all of participants who have come into this online platform. I am greatly privileged to be giving a presidential address on behalf of LJRF and the probation sector reforms on criminology and forensic science. Well, I take this opportunity to say my thanks to LJRF for inviting me. Welcome, Shaji sir and Shweta ma'am, for this wonderful session. You're giving the inaugural address and special address in this session. Actually, this is a second edition. That is an add-on course on criminology and forensic science. That is LJRF Center in connection with the Center for Probation Reforms. Actually, LJRF, I have been connected to the LJRF from the beginning itself. It has been a long, wonderful journey, and especially with the Safi Mohan at the head. It has done wonderful work all over Kerala. And this add-on course is really very, because when you get into the second edition, see, this started in the first, 2023. The first course started in May 2023 and ended in November 24 with 50 participants. So when it is entering into the second edition, you can see the wonderful response. That is what motivated the LTRF to go into a second edition. So I'm glad that this is being addressed by Shaji sir, who is the director, who is the chief guest, that is the Director General Prosecutor, and special address given by Shweta Thomas. We all know that this criminology and forensic science. Actually, when I worked as a principal of the Law College Trishur, I had an opportunity to conduct an international seminar on criminology and forensic science. And we had invited Shirley Thomas, I think. Shirley, the name is Trishur Law College. She was the head of the Department of the Forensic Science. Actually, this criminal science, and I have also attended this criminal psychology and criminal justice system conducted by Police Academy in Trishur. So, actually, this criminal psychology, forensic science, these are wonderful areas. And according to me, this subject should not only be taught to the law students, the LLB students, the public also should be made. Any person who is interested in understanding criminal psychology, criminal behavior, and forensic investigation, they should be given an hands-on experience, hands-on training as to what is this forensic science, how forensic investigation is being carried out, and what are the evidence, the proof which is collected as a forensic evidence or proof for in the investigation of a crime. So actually, this is the work that has been done by the LGRF. It is a very good combination of online and interactive sessions, and it has also recorded videos and adopted assignments also given. So, and the compulsory 75% attendance has been made in the first edition, and many of the participants are law students, lawyers, judicial officers, prosecutors, and police personnel. So you can understand the wide forum that was opened as a result of this online class that has been conducted by the LTRF, the center. So this criminology and forensic medicine, as the participants in this session knows, it is an interdisciplinary field that is focusing mainly on the scientific study of a crime, the criminal behavior. The law teachers used to say in class, even though we don't have any direct evidence in many offenses that is committed in our society, some effect will be there, or the consequence will be there, which leave some kind of trace or evidence leading to the accused, or the circumstances in which the crime was done. So some consequence, some effect. That is what is forensic science. And earlier, under the Indian Evidence Act, Section 45 clearly gives a wide meaning as to what is expert evidence and what all evidence can be collected under it. So it includes the forensic investigation and scientific evidence and all kinds of evidence under it. So it is actually a scientific study of the crime and the criminal behavior. You know that the human being is a wonderful specimen as to understand the mind, the crime. We always say that even the devil doesn't know what is going on in the mind of a person. So it is very difficult to understand the criminal behavior of a person. Sometimes a person might be very, very, what you call, positive. His social behavior will be applauded in all circles. But in his mind, he must be having some kind of criminal behavior. We don't know. It is, even science, what do you understand that polygraph, that what do you call, the scientific evidence collected, lie detector test. See, all those, even those, in some cases, it has been researched and found out that if a person has very high concentration or he is practicing concentration, it is difficult to elicit the truth from that accused person through lie detector test or polygraph, etc. I am not very sure of it. This is what I gathered from the articles that has been published. So it relates to the application of the scientific principles to legal matters. That is and you also know that there is a wide variety of career in criminology and the forensics, right? It offers diverse and impactful opportunities. That is, and especially in this era of scientific development and technology and digital era, the demand for new knowledge, new techniques in understanding forensic science, it offers new paths. High demand is there, and especially we also know that the crime rates are increasing. The criminal behavior is increasing. It is starting as early as children around 8 years, 9 years committing crime. So I think advancement in technology should be spread throughout the society in such a way that people are aware how this can be detected. And I'm not taking much of the time. I also want to hear the talk that is given by the what do you call Dr. Shweta Thomas and T.H. See, we all know that it plays a crucial role in solving crimes and ensuring fair legal systems, and thereby improving the criminal justice system. So it provides the state-of-art facilities and simulated crime scenes. Practical training should be given, and they can focus on forensic toxicology, serology, digital forensics, and also psychology. And the criminal analysis has to be done, and it can also be the persons who study this, they also can become what you call criminal investigators, which is very necessary, especially cybercrime and all. It is rather increasing, so people are made aware. So it provides employment in both government and private company. In short, it provides for specialization and the potential to contribute to safe and more safe and just society. So I thank the organizers, especially Safi Mohan, for inviting me. I congratulate all the team the coordinators and the team for their effort. And thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I invite T.A. Shadi sir for the inaugural address.
Respected Dr. Saroja, who is presiding over this function, of this program, Dr. Sweta Thomas, Sri Safia Mohan, Sri Nabia Sebastian, esteemed organizers of LJRF and the Center for Probation Reforms, distinguished participants, including, which I assume, Sri Girish Panju, former DOP, and my dearest colleague, and my dear friends, a very good evening to all. I'm not an academician, so I suffer that much limitation also. And I also want to hear from you. It is both a privilege and a pleasure to be with you today. First of all, I extend my sincere gratitude to the organizers for inviting me as the chief guest and giving me this opportunity to inaugurate this function and share a few words. I feel truly honored. I'm very grateful to you. I am delighted to declare that this add-on course in Criminology and Forensic Science formally inaugurated. Whenever we reflect on the justice delivery system, particularly in the realm of criminal justice, a question naturally arises. Is our current system truly capable of uncovering the whole truth? The reality is that we administer justice according to law. And in that process, the truth can at times be obscured. Yet we must recognize that the most reliable instrument humanity has invented or devised for the pursuit of truth remains the due process of law, which we are following now. Our constant endeavor has been to refine and strengthen it in the quest for perfection. In this pursuit, criminology and forensic science are indispensable allies. They bridge the gap between truth and justice under the law. The justice delivery system thrives when enriched by innovative tools and interdisciplinary collaboration. And these two disciplines are at the forefront for that effort. For an orderly society to exist, the members must display orderly behavior. Crime is, by definition, a deviant behavior or a deviation from that order. The response devised by human civilization or human race has been to define offenses through law and to prescribe appropriate punishment. An offense is an act or omission made punishable by law, and it can be addressed only through an established constitutional procedure, as enshrined in Article 21. As everyone is aware, Article 21 mandates that no one shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to a procedure established by law, which in my opinion is the sheet anchor of every criminal prosecution. From the moment a crime is detected to the final stage where the offender is convicted and sentenced, every procedural safeguard must be particularly or meticulously observed. Criminology and forensic science, both vibrant disciplines with significant jurisprudential value, are vital to improving quality of our criminal justice system. Criminology studies crimes, its causes, and its impact on society. It seeks to understand the motivations behind criminal behavior, the factors influencing it, and the measures that can prevent it. In doing so, it shapes better laws, informs policy making, and safeguards the rights of citizens, thereby ensuring social order. Forensic science, on the other hand, provides a scientific precision essential to modern investigations. By analyzing evidence such as DNA, fingerprints, digital footprints, and other complex data, it gives investigators clarity, accuracy, and direction. It transforms suspicion into proof, and provide courts with reliable evidence for fair adjudication. Together, criminology and forensic science form a powerful partnership, one that not only helps to detect crime and identify offenders, but also strengthens public trust in the justice system. In Kerala, recent years have been encouraging developments in the said field. Our forensic laboratories have adopted advanced technologies, including DNA sequencing, enabling faster and more accurate identification sensitive cases, including sexual offenses and missing person investigations. The integration of cyber forensics units into police stations has strengthened our capacity to address digital crimes, from online fraud to cyber harassment. The state has also been pioneering in the use of facial recognition and automated fingerprint identification system, aiding both detection and prevention. On the criminology front, there has been growing academic collaboration between law enforcement agencies and universities in Kerala. Studies on behavioral patterns of repeat offenders, community-based correctional programs, and crime prevention models tailored for our fabric, social fabric are beginning to influence both the policing strategies and judicial perspectives. Equipping stakeholders with an in-depth knowledge of these fields is therefore not merely an academic exercise. It is a service to the cause of justice itself. This program, I am confident, will contribute meaningfully to that mission. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. I may take leave sometimes. I may be excused. So I have some other engagements also. So thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I invite Shweta ma'am for the special address.
Good evening. Saji sir, thank you for a very good introduction about criminology and forensic science. Saroja ma'am, even you gave a very good understanding about crime, criminology, as well as forensic aspects. I am really glad to be the resource person for the second edition as well. I'm really thankful to LJRF as well as Safi sir for this. He was the one who identified me as a resource person in the first edition as well as in the second edition. I'm not going to talk more into the academic aspect of criminology or forensic science, but rather I would say it's a confession. Most of them think that criminologists are people who chase criminals down dark roads, like in movies, which how criminologists are portrayed. They help police, not just identifying criminals, but we also tend to chase questions. Why does crime happen? And how can that particular crime be prevented? This is the main aspect that we look into, not just identifying the criminal as such. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not just talking about criminology as an academic subject, but I would say it's a survival tool for this modern society. And maybe by the time I would do a very short talk, and I guess by the end of my talk, I would have people, the participants who would state that they're very glad to be a part of this course. So as Saroja ma'am mentioned, criminology is the scientific study of crime, criminals, and criminal justice system. So we look into the causes of crime, the explanation of how that particular crime impacts the society, and how the society responds. Society response basically is punishment, and not just punishment, how crime can also be prevented. So all of this is studied with a combination of various subjects like sociology, psychology, and law, which is put into one discipline, that is criminology. So this looks into more of the human behavior part. If you focus on forensic science, it looks into the scientific aspect of evidence, how it is important to relate that particular evidence to the offender who's committed a particular crime. So say if you look into crime as a leaking tap, if you think a crime is like a leaking tap that keeps leaking for a very frequent period of time, I guess the police would be the plumber who's fixing it. Okay, so if the crime is the leaking tap, the police would be the plumber who's fixing it, whereas criminologists would be the ones who would figure out why that particular tap keeps breaking again and again. Okay, what happened to that water system? That is what criminologists do. Again, if you ask me why criminology, uh, as ma'am said, crime is something that is fast, that is, I guess, more than the laws, crime is changing fast, and it is on a very, very fast state. It is not static in nature as such. So, if you look into the recent crime trends, cyber crime is there. There is a lot of AI, deepfake scams that is happening, and if you think, most of them do crimes within their own bedroom or living room without even stepping out of their houses. Imagine if this was in 1990s, none of them would have thought that a person sitting behind a computer would be able to do a scam in related to online romance or something like that, trying to express their love over social media and try to extort money from people. I don't think 1990s anyone would have predicted that. But then that is what criminology tries to identify and study how the future also of crime would be. Again, not just studying about crime, criminal behavior, also when laws are being made, criminology, if you know criminology as a decision maker of law, you can, try to act wisely rather than act emotionally. I'm sure whenever any gang rape cases happen, there's a lot of public demand as the person should be put into death penalty, or if it's a juvenile that is committing a crime, most of them say that right now 18 is not the age, 16 is the age, because most of the children now, they do know technology more better than an adult person. So most of the times all of these panic happens because of certain crimes that are exposed in the media. So a person who knows criminology as such, if he is a decision maker, or if she is a decision maker in law, it would be easy for them to react more wisely, rationally, rather than reacting more emotionally. uh, Also, as I said, it is important to study criminology. Say, if you are a criminology student, think of yourself as a Google map of justice. Okay, so Google Maps helps us not just to tell us where we are, but also what is there in the future. If there is a traffic jam in the ahead, or which other shortcuts can be used to reach a particular destination. Similarly, think of yourself as a Google map of justice. You not just know why crime has happened, where crime has happened, you also can predict the future and how it can be prevented. That is what is important here. If you ask me if I can predict something in the future, maybe in the 2035 or something, there can be misuse of AI, which is already happening. Still, maybe a person can fake as a politician using their voice as well as their face, declare that there is an emergency. There'll be a lot of chaos that happens. Okay, so all of this happens just by from a person who's sitting in his living room using a computer. So who would be responding that time? It is not just the police. We also need people from the field of criminology who understands technology, human psychology, as well as law together. This would help them not just to identify the criminals, but also to prevent that particular crime. So I think if you study criminology today, it is like an investment for your future safety. And again, coming to the relevance of today, uh, most of us know post-COVID, there was a lot of changes in the crime trends. I'm sure there's a lot of domestic violence that happens, a lot of dowry death cases that came up, lot of online scams, cyberbullying, a lot of video game addicts also. Most of the children are addicted to video games. Also, if you look into the movies or the OTT platforms, everyone's interested in crime series. I'm sure most of you here, most of the students, they prefer crime series that rather than watching a romance movie. And if you look at every other movie, not just in Bollywood, even if you look into Malayalam movies, most of them are violent in nature. People tend to like violence more now. They like to watch that more now. So understanding all of these things, why do people think like that? As ma'am said, understanding a human mind is very complex. Even a psychologist, it's not easy for them to identify what's going on in a human mind. So as time changes, the crime trends also keep changing. Okay, not just technology, but then as interaction with people also changes, similar way crime also keeps changing, and you need to identify that and try to prevent that rather than just studying why that particular crime has happened. So for me, I think uh, crime is committed by a person not just because of one or two factors. It is a combination of a lot of factors. There can be psychology in that, there can be environmental factors, there can be certain neurobiological factors also that play a major role. All of these things combined together makes a person commit a particular crime. Okay, so I don't think it is just one thing. And I feel if you can understand crime, you can prevent it for sure. I'm sure all of you all are from law background. So studying criminology as well as forensic aspects would help you to get a bit more understanding about law, and not just focus on the law aspect, but then focus upon the criminal also. There is a thing that most of them think that criminology studies and focuses only in the crime and criminal behavior. No, we also look into the victim aspect also. There is something called as victimology, which is a branch of criminology, wherein you try to identify how the victim played a major role in the crime. Did they make the offender, provoke to do that particular crime? Okay, or was that offender known to the victim? What are the psychological aspects that have affected the victim, not just the physical, the psychological also. And there is one more branch called as penology that deals with punishment. I'm sure most of you all would have watched in movies that in jail you get Godam Bunda. That is the common thing that most of them see in movies. But no, there is a lot of nutrition food provided in order to balance the nutritions, or if there is any malnutrition for that particular criminal. What we focus on by providing punishment to a person is not just for the crime he's committed, but to rehabilitate him in such a way that once he goes back to the society, he does not commit that particular crime again. Rather, he would try to change his ways, whatever are the causal factors that led him to do that particular crime. You try to identify that and change that particular aspect. That is what is done in penology. So a combination of all of this is criminology. And I'm sure it would give you a lens, criminology as such would give you a lens to see crime clearly. The forensic tools would help you to prevent it as well as to identify the offenders easily. And it also gives you the courage to fix what is broken in the society, in the system, and maybe in yourselves. So with the final thought, I would just like to say that anyone can punish, but it takes knowledge, empathy, and courage to truly prevent it. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I hope I could give a small just idea about what criminology and forensic science is. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As we come to the concluding moments of this inaugural session of our add-on course on criminology and forensic science, I now invite Asiya Rahman to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to one and all. On behalf of the Law and Justice Research Foundation as well as the Center for Probation Reforms, it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for today's inaugural session on the second edition of the course on forensic science and criminology. First and foremost, firstly, kindly excuse me for not switching on the camera. It has been heavily raining here, which is why. Otherwise, I would have definitely ensured my presence in this session as well. I extend our heartfelt gratitude firstly to Ms. Anandita SR. Her warm and gracious welcome address has set the perfect tone for this enlightening session. Next, our sincere thanks to Dr. Saroja A.S. for her inspiring presidential address. She reminded us of the significance of merging legal knowledge with scientific expertise, especially on the point that it is much more necessary that not just law students, but every person who is related via their employment, whether it be the government, the police, everyone, to enrich their knowledge database with knowing what forensic science is, what criminology is, what are the different branches, so that they can understand the roots of a crime better. We are also deeply honored by the presence of our chief guest, T.A. Shaji sir, for his thought provoking words, for gracing this occasion with his invaluable insights, especially on the fact that when we talk about a crime, we are talking about unraveling the truth behind the crime. A special note of appreciation goes to our dearest resource person, Dr. Shweta Thomas, for sharing her expertise and perspectives, which promises to broaden our understanding of this fascinating field. In fact, a key takeaway from her talk was that it is always a crime is always about asking questions, not about what the crime is, but also about the why the crime happened, what are the root causes of the crime, etc. In fact, we would also be inspired by philosophies of renowned judges such as Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer when we talk about reforming the criminal system in the long term to ensure that these crimes are not perpetuated. So it is always important to go behind the why of every crime. We also owe our gratitude to Professor Safi Mohan, who is the co founder of the Law and Justice Research Foundation. His relentless support, vision, and initiative have made this session possible. A heartfelt thanks to Ms. Navya Sebastian for her dedicated coordination and meticulous organization, ensuring that every detail of today's event was handled with excellence. Finally, we extend once again our thanks to the Law and Justice Research Foundation, the backbone of this initiative, the constant encouragement and the partnership in bringing such academic discourses to life. To all dignitaries, participants, and attendees, thank you for your presence and for making this inaugural session truly meaningful. And with this, we set the tone for this course. Thank you so much.